The Astros dropped the first 3 games against the Mariners in Seattle before eking out a win in the series finale to avoid the sweep. The offense was pathetic this week, but the pitching, on the other hand, was the exact opposite of that. And, honestly, dude, if I were the hitting coach of the Astros, then I would be like, boys, we need to talk. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So, stay tuned. What is going on, dude? This series in particular should have at least been a series split. But yeah, we entered this series only 3.5 games behind the Seattle Mariners for first place in the American League West, and we lost ground this week. To be exact, we lost 2 games. Entering the finale, we were 6.5 behind before winning, and we are now 5.5 now. So, the best case scenario should have been that we split this series. But we didn't. We ended up losing 3 out of 4. And again, quite frankly, I was expecting us to get swept after we dropped the first 3 games because the offense was pretty much dead in the water. The pitching, on the other hand, was the exact opposite of that. Between the 4 starters, who I believe, Framber Valdez, Ronel Blanco, Verlander, and then in the series finale, Spencer Arrighetti, all 4 pitchers threw quality starts. And for those of you baseball nerds out there who don't know what a quality start is, in basic terms, but basically he throws out a start where he gives up no more than 3 earned runs. And that's exactly what all 4 pitchers in this series did. They threw quality starts, but the only pitcher who had offensive run support was Spencer Arrighetti in the series finale. But Spencer Arrighetti in the series finale struck out 8 over 6 innings of 2-hit baseball. The strikeout count sets a new career high for him. Gets, I think, his 3rd win of the season. And, overall, the series finale, it was a good game. Quite frankly, it should have been the game. It should have been how the Astros should have performed for the rest of the series. And then again, best case scenario is that we split the series after dropping the first 2. Quite frankly, it really should have been a series victory. But I don't know what our problem is against the Mariners. Maybe it's their pitching rotation. Maybe it is. But at the same time, this Astros offense needs to be putting out at least 5 runs minimum every single night. This is an offense that is capable of doing that. Now, is that realistic? No. Especially not against this Mariners pitching rotation that's going to hold you to not even 3 earned runs on a given night. But this is a team, again, that needs to be putting out at least 5 runs every single night. And with the lone exception, or technically they weren't even that in this entire series. But at the same time, they did score 4 runs, which, that's perfect. And if the bullpen can hold that, then great. But at the same time, dude, we need to be getting it together on offense, because going into the finale of this game, the Astros had scored in exactly 1 inning in 7 straight games, basically where we just get all of our scoring done in 1 inning, but are silent the other 8. They had done that in 7 straight games, which is the longest streak in this era of baseball since 1974, which was set by the Orioles, who also had 7. The MLB record was 8, and if the Astros had not scored, and Bregman's home run was the first bit of scoring that the Astros had in the series finale, and had it not been for Victor Caratini's home run an inning later, more than likely they probably would have set that new record, and who knows if they would have won this game or not. The bullpen did preserve the shutout, but again, who knows if they would have done that or not if they were working with a 2-run cushion instead of a 4-run cushion, which was what they were given by the offense. But again, dude, the Astros have kind of been notorious for breaking records more recently, and some rather bad ones too. It's kind of sickening if you ask me. And if we were going to go in with another record on our hands, like another bad one, I don't know what we were going to do. But thankfully, the Astros had snapped that streak on Thursday, so that was good to see. Again, we need to be scoring runs in multiple innings. Obviously, if we score maybe 5 or 6 runs in a single inning, which was the case over in Oakland, that's okay. Because, odds are even the more moderate bullpen in baseball can protect that kind of a lead. But at the same time, like I said, when you're given base running opportunities, take advantage of it. Again, I don't know what's going on with this team. But offensively, the Astros, they were okay, but again, they were able to put it together in the series finale and get a quality win. Those were the wins that we should have gotten in at least one other, if not 2 other games of this series. I'm not going to complain here in the sense that the Astros had actually won a game in Seattle. I'm not going to complain about a win at all. A win's a win. I'm not complaining about it, no matter, even if the Astros were to choke that 4-0 lead and win it in Manfred innings. I would have been happy about it because they won. That's all I care about. But at the same time, this should have been a series victory, and it wasn't. Now we're approaching the month of June, and I mean, we're still, I think, let me see, like we're still probably, I think, 6 games under 500 going into this weekend series against the Twins. Over the course of this series, the pitching was insane. I mean, even over the last 8 games, the Astros pitchers have thrown 7 quality starts over that span of games. 49 innings, just 34 hits allowed, 13 runs given up, 12 of which were earned. The only unearned run was game 2 of this series on Bregman's error, but only 4 home runs, 14 walks, struck out 55 batters, which is great, which contributes to a 191 opponent batting average and a 2.20 ERA. 2.20 ERA is great. But that's what we should have been doing across the rest of the series. And we did do that because, I mean, we held the Mariners to probably, like 6 runs combined across 3 games. This Mariners team is one of the lowest scoring teams in the majors. But the Astros offense was just held in check by this Mariners pitching rotation. And they were given a lot of opportunities to score. I mean, going into this series, runs were for sure going to be coming at a premium. And they really were. Because, I mean, like I said, it's just like, the offense had fallen asleep in Seattle this week, with the one exception being in the finale. I mean, I was expecting that because, Luis Gilbert was pitching. And, again, the last time Luis Gilbert pitched against us, he held us to I think, just 2 hits over 8 innings. And I thought that was going to be more of a repeat of that. But Spencer Arrighetti was just on fire. Like, he is just... in what I think is now his just 8th career start. Again, our pitching rotation is now being battered with another injury in Christian Javier hitting the injured list retroactive to this past Saturday. And also Jose Urquidy, who had to leave his rehab starts with an elbow injury. And they are being examined by team doctors, but so far their results have not been publicly announced yet. So we'll, or at least as of when I'm recording this video. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, overall in this series finale here, the Astros had scored 4 runs. Bregman accounted for 2 of those runs with a 2-run blast, his second in this series. Caratini added to that with a solo home run an inning later. And then after that, Caratini did contribute another fielder's choice RBI on I don't know if Caratini. No, it was. So yeah, Caratini contributed with a fielder's choice RBI late in the game to make it 4-0 Astros for the bullpen. Again, the pitching has been solid this weekend, and it needs to stay that way going into this weekend as the Astros prepare to welcome the Twins for a 3-game series. And that also includes an old Astros friend, their former All-Star shortstop, Carlos Correa, who has had his long tenure with the Astros. He's been to Minute Maid Park since being traded, and I did see him. Sadly, I'm not going to be there this weekend. But yeah, it should be a good series against the Twins. They're looking pretty decent. The AL Central is really picking it up this year because, I thought the Central was going to be a very underachieving division this year. But it turns out that might very well turn into be the AL West this year, and it's kind of shocking. And that's what's making me think that the Astros are not completely out of contention in the AL West just yet, because again, even the first place teams, the Mariners and Rangers, are really struggling. So the AL West might turn out to be like how the AL Central was last year and also the year before that. So come July, we'll see how things go. But, like I said, we're not out of this yet. The season's not over. Anyway, that's going to do it, guys. I'm sorry if this sounded more like a rant than it did a series recap. But like I said, something needs to be said about the Astros offense. The fact that we won yesterday is making it easier for me to keep a lightheaded composure here. But at the same time, like I said, we need to get it together as the Twins come to town. The Cardinals come to Houston and the series after that, and they're also looking pretty decent. But, I wouldn't say they're like decent per se, but either way, both of these teams entering play today have a better record than the Astros do. So, they need to be stepping it up. But anyway, guys, drop your comments down below on how you thought this, on your thoughts on this series. And if you watch one, and if you want to watch another one of my videos, then click these videos here that are above my shoulders. And then, yeah, leave a like if you guys enjoyed, like I said, and I'll see you guys in the next one.